Good evening, Patriots. This is Praying Medic, and this is my QAnon broadcast for Saturday, April 18th. Welcome to the broadcast. Those of you following along at home, you can find Q's posts on a number of different websites, including qanon.pub and qmap.pub. If you have an Android device and you would like to get notifications when Q is posting, you can get the QMap and Q Alerts apps in the Play Store. If you have an iPhone, you can get the Get Pushed app, and then in the search window, look for the Q Alerts updates. My theme for this broadcast is We Are Ready. If you are looking for some information on Q's operation, you might want to check out my book, Calm Before the Storm. It has 17 chapters. It covers some of the basic themes that Q has discussed in the first 2 or 3 months of his operation. There's also a glossary at the back that discusses the most common abbreviations, acronyms, and terms that Q uses. So you can pick that up at Barnes & Noble or Amazon. Now let's get into the decodes today. John Solomon explained to Lou Dobbs last night that a handful of indictments related to Spygate may be unsealed soon. I'll let you listen to this video.
And we have not been talking about the wrong things, but our leadership in Washington has been talking about the wrong things and feeding us pablum when in point of fact, they are refusing to bring these people to justice. And I say refusing. This is outrageous that we're having this discussion in 2020. Yeah. It's just outrageous. We're talking about 4 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's taken a very long time. And part of the reason is the FBI and the intelligence community are very good at obfuscating and hiding the truth, whether they redact things, claim they're classified, falsify documents, which they did in this case. They have done a good job. But I will say this, there is some fairly significant evidence at this very moment, this week, the last couple of weeks, Lou, that there is some criminal investigative activity that I think will result in some actions coming out soon. It's not going to be a lot. Don't expect 10 or 12 indictments, but there could be a handful of indictments and much more information. And I think one very important thing, the FBI had something right. There was a campaign that was taking Russian information and trying to influence the election. It just wasn't Donald Trump's campaign. It was Hillary Clinton through the person of Christopher Steele and his Russian informants. That has to be resolved. And one of the documents that are still sitting out there unchallenged, the intelligence assessment. We said, our intelligence committee said that the Russians were trying to help Trump win, Hillary lose. That does not appear to be the case from the new body of evidence.
And Q posted a link to the tweet by Lou Dobbs and wrote this. We have the Punisher skull here, image. We are ready, set one, in brackets, mission good, Q. So what the heck does that mean? Well, in November of 2017, this is in the first week that Q was posting, he told Anons, when big news drops, please reread the entire graphic. At that point, the Anons were compiling all of his posts into a single graphic, which Q would call the map. This is so critical. That's why information is provided in a certain order and why some topics are continually reemphasized more than others, as those will be the recent happenings. Whenever a big news story comes up, I always go back and look at previous posts by Q and see what Q has said about this previously to kind of pull the pieces of the puzzle together. I believe the set one that Q referred to here is a reference to this placeholder post from Q from April 10th. Solomon's report is about indictments. This placeholder is about indictments, tracking indictments, and it has set one, and then it has numbers 1 through 6. So I believe that Q is giving us a clue that we need to look at this placeholder. It appears like these indictments may fall under a military jurisdiction, since the category listed for set 1 here is non-civ. I believe that's non-civilian, or that would be military. I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I'm reading it. Q said that FISA indictments would be the start of the publicly visible aspect of the removal of corruption. Now, I got some heat from people when I said that I did not believe the reports that children were being rescued from tunnels in New York. And some people got angry because they said, oh, I thought this is primarily about the children. Well, I think this is primarily about the children, but you have to understand that there's multiple parts of this operation that are going on simultaneously. Some of them are publicly visible and some of them are not. Although FISA is the beginning of the publicly visible part of the removal of corruption, patriots have been engaged in anti-corruption operations for many years. This post from Q from December of 2017, Q said 19 operations now active, operators in harm's way. POTUS is awake, no sleep during the op, pray Q. And what do those operations look like? Well, Q told Anons back in December of 2017 when one of the Anons asked, hey, Q, what about the children? Q said 3,000 children were saved in the raids in Saudi Arabia alone. Worldwide human trafficking lanes were shut down. The operations were being rolled up from bottom to top. Haiti and Red Cross were of interest at that time. And then there were classified operations, high priority. So just because we're not seeing these things in the news, and just because some of these reports that we're hearing are erroneous, it doesn't mean children are not being saved. They are. But this is not the publicly visible part of Q's operation right now. So on December 17th, Q posted this. First indictment, unseal, will trigger mass population awakening. The first arrest will verify action and confirm future direction. They will fight, but you are ready. Marker 9 in brackets Q. And unseal is also in brackets. Now, if you want to know, who you think is going to be indicted first or for what, this is a really good post to look at. So Q is telling us that the first indictments that are going to be unsealed are going to shock the public and trigger a mass awakening. Now, we switches to a second subject, which is the first arrest. That is going to verify the actions and confirm future direction. So the first indictment is going to be so shocking, it'll trigger a lot of people to wake up to the reality of corruption. The first arrest is going to confirm that other people are going to be arrested. And, Q said, there are going to be people who will fight this action, but you are ready. Q said that we need to be ready for Congress to call for investigations of Attorney General Barr and U.S. Attorney Durham because of the actions they're going to take. Barr and Durham are going to be prosecuting highly visible, very popular people, and there's going to be pushback. But Q said, we are ready. Also in December, Q suggested that a grand jury was reviewing information pertaining to General Flynn, which is why information that might clear his name could not be given to his attorney. Same evidence to free Flynn currently being used to indict others, in brackets, GJ grand jury. Modifying the 302. So the FBI 302 is modified. That is one count that will be in an indictment, I'm guessing, who listened in to Flynn's phone call between himself and Kislyak. 2 counts regarding FISA. And then there are 6 counts that we don't know about. I think this is connected to this marker 9. 9 is in brackets, right? If you count these counts up, there's 1 and plus 2 plus 6 is 9 counts, all in brackets, and marker 9. Now, I don't know that this is factual. I'm not really making a prediction. I just think that these are connected. So I suspect that first indictment is going to be related to FISA, but maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be something else. All right. Last night, Q posted this flag, and the file name is America, PNG. And last night, Lieutenant Freedom posted this video, and Q shared it. I'm going to let you listen to this video.
Greetings from Valley Forge and Bunker Hill across the Delaware River on Christmas night. From Antietam to Gettysburg, the Alamo to San Jacinto, Manila Bay to San Juan Hill, Bellawood to Marne, Iwo Jima to Guadalcanal, Salerno to the beaches of Normandy, Incheon to the Chosin Reservoir, Port Chop Hill and Way City, Mogadishu, Fallujah, Ramadi, and the Korengal Valley. We are the sons and daughters of George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., John Fitzgerald Kennedy, Ronald Reagan, and President Donald J. Trump. We come from Europe, Africa, Asia, Australia, Central and South America, across all edges of the Pacific to the Atlantic. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. We're in this together. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you, and God bless.
Q sent greetings from the team. Greetings from Maryland, D.C., Hawaii, and beyond. Where we go one, we go all. Q. I think members of the Q team may include people who work for the NSA. And the NSA's main operation is out of Fort Meade, Maryland, which is why Q mentioned Maryland. Some of the people on the Q team may be in Hawaii. That's another NSA operation. Also, White House. Some of the Q team people might be in the White House, which is in D.C., obviously. All right, Anons were having some good times on the board last night. This Anon said, Spouse Anon is ready to go back to work and serve. I hope the IC, the intelligence community, house gets cleaned thoroughly. Many true patriots who were purged by the prior corrupt administration are ready to step back in. Let's go. This Anon wrote, ex-military here, Q. Please don't let us down. We were willing to die then and still willing to die now. Do us proud, please. Q responded, for God and country, brother. And this Anon wrote, thank you, Team Patriots. I love you all and wish you Godspeed. I've been praying for you, our military, our POTUS, their families, and every single person or soul that has put it all on the line for good versus evil. Read the Bible. God wins. Thank you for responding to me. Made my military service worth every minute. This Anon wrote, Ops on Q, late night. POTUS is doing great, and what a wonderful leader for our country. The plan is unfolding nicely, 3 years worth of Anon work, and the present is proving the past. Let's see what the future holds. Retired operators are standing by. This Anon wrote, Anons and Patriots do not like renegades. Life and liberty are a team sport. Another one wrote, Amen, Q, praying for all patriots. Know that there are many of us citizens ready and willing to be soldiers for this movement. For the freedom of our children, patriots stand at the ready. And Anon posted a picture of the president surrounded by the military leaders. What storm, Mr. President? Trump puts the world on edge with a cryptic cliffhanger. You'll find out. The storm is coming. All right. Those of you who are new to Q probably will not understand Q's next post without a little bit of context. So, former FBI Director James Comey is fond of tweeting pictures of himself standing in a cornfield. This one is from, I think, June 16th of 2016. And then there's this one, which he tweeted from his secret Twitter account. And then there's this one. This is from, I think, July of 2019. Good to be back in Iowa. And when Comey tweeted that, Q responded to it, reposted it, and said, was the corn ripe for harvesting? It is now. Then we have this brackets, a bunch of spaces, 93 DK Q. 93 DK was decoded as 93 days dark when Q went off the board for 93 days and came back. We kind of decoded that as the interpretation, but that's beside the point. So Q is trolling Comey about the corn being ripe for harvesting. Then on the same day, Devin Nunes tweeted this picture of a corn cob, corn ready for it to be cut. On March 3rd, 2019, Q misspelled James Comey's name as James 8 Corny. The interesting thing about that is if you download the Department of Justice Inspector General report on FISA abuse in a program that allows you to search for it, like Adobe Acrobat Reader, if you type in the name Comey, you get no search results. But if you type in the name Corny, C-O-R-N-E-Y, all of the references to James Comey come up. Now, why do you suppose that would be? So, corn and cornfields are a meme used by the good guys to foreshadow the coming prosecution of the bad guys. And last night, Q posted another picture of a cornfield, and the file name is harvested cornfield JPEG. And then Q posted a link to another YouTube video. So I think Q is again a warning people like James Comey and others that the time of prosecution is approaching. Just these nonverbal signs going back and forth. The video from Above and Beyond is called Rotations, and I don't have a whole lot of commentary on that other than to say it's possible that Q, using videos from the group Above and Beyond, might be sending a double meaning. Common use in the military. He went above and beyond the call of duty. Maybe that's a second message being sent. I don't know. So this Anon wrote, corny harvested. First arrest is going to be James Comey, JC in brackets, calling it now. And that's a possibility. Another possibility for the first indictment could be Barack Obama. Q has been posting a lot about Obama lately, sort of warning and hinting that trouble is coming. I don't know who's going to be the first indictment. There are a lot of good possibilities. Q's warning that they will react strongly against the first indictment kind of hints that it's going to be somebody well known and somebody that the establishment is going to want to support. I don't know who that's going to be. All right, this morning, Q posted 2 lanterns in the window of a tower with no text, and the file name is just _JPEG. That's it. The Anons had a lot of observations on it, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea. This Anon said, neither lamp is lit yet, but the signal is in place. This Anon said, 2 if by sea, China imports, shutting it down soon. Are you guys? I don't know if any of these interpretations are correct. If you do an image search, you come up with, this is Rush Limbaugh's book about Paul Revere and the Revolution. And there are other ones, but our friend Enoch posted this last night. It was April 18th, 1775, when 2 lanterns were lit in the Old North Church, signaling the British were coming by sea. Paul Revere began his midnight ride to alert the Patriot militias. The next day was the official start of the American Revolution. It was the beginning of the battles of Lexington and Concord, shot heard around the world. I think that that's what Q is referring to. So if that's correct, and tomorrow has a relevant day in Q's calendar, it could be interesting. This is a post from Cuba from 2018. Where we go one, we go all. Drops will go fast. White House clean. SIG. Marker. Everything is planned. Years. Message. Unity. Awakening. We fight. Lexington. Concord. Stay together. Q. And it's interesting. I found this Twitter account. It's at Old North 1723. Some good news. This weekend, the 2 iconic steeple lanterns at Old North will be set aglow as beacons of perseverance, resilience, and solidarity. People from across the world can join us on YouTube at 7:25 to watch the lighting. And then we have this tweet from Joe Biden, which is just my own personal commentary. He tweeted out, Donald Trump says he's a wartime president. It's time for him to act like one. You know how the president has been saying, I'm a wartime president. We're in a war. We're fighting this invisible enemy. I think the president is sending messages to us, letting us know that we are, in a sense, in a second revolution. We are taking our country back. We're taking back all of our countries. After the United States is cleaned of corruption, Canada is going to be cleaned of corruption, and then we're going to move over to England and Ireland, Germany and France. Corruption is going to be cleaned worldwide. We are witnessing a global revolution, and it is not a violent war. It is a war where we're going to restore justice and freedom and independence from the tyrants who have been ruling our lives for hundreds of years. And that will get us caught up to Q. Thank you for joining me. Please keep me and Denise in prayer. Keep the president in prayer. Keep keeping the team in prayer. Love you all. Take care. I will catch you on the next broadcast.